everyone. We call this effort Economic Forum, your home for all matters to do with finance, business, manufacturing, tourism, tech, whatever it is. If it is economic related, then we cover it on this program. My name is Farai Mwakutuya. My guest today is none other than the Permanent Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, Mr. Paul Nyoni. PS, it is a pleasure to have you on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here, and hi.
Great. How is the City of Kings?
The City of Kings and Queens.
Queens, indeed.
is up there, trying to recover its mojo. As you know, geographically, the smallest city, the smallest province in the country, 1,700 square kilometers, but the second highest GDP and the highest GDP per capita. Bulawayo is, as you know, traditionally a manufacturing hub, not just any kind of manufacturing with the heaviest industries, partly because we're the hub of the transport system in the country, whether rail or road, but also the center of textile manufacturing in the country. The volume of players in the textile industry was amazing. But as you know, through various challenges, primarily the sanctions, our industry has suffered a lot of setbacks over the years. Yet, when the Second Republic rocked in, our motto was to revive our industry, restore Bulawayo to where it used to be, which is at the top of the manufacturing value chain. And things are happening, my brother. Things are happening all over Bulawayo.
Talk us through some of those developments.
One of the things that I can quickly talk about, and I like to put this example because it speaks to the unitary nature of our nation, as the President reminds us all the time. The cotton from Gokwe, that's Midlands, is spun and woven in Cheguten Kwekwe, Cheguten Kadoma. And then it's manufactured into wonderful garments in Bulawayo. 3 provinces. At a fair swoop.
Exactly.
But that is a process because that weaving and spinning that I'm talking about is only accounting for 60% of the requirements of the recovering clothing industry in Bulawayo. But we will be pushing for as much as we can that we get back to 100%. That's one aspect of it.
Yes.
The other aspect of it is we are a massive agro-processor. I think we have the largest concentration of milling companies, milling mill, wheat, stock feed. The amount of players in that space in Bulawayo is amazing, and they are all running. So in agro processing, we cover that. We also cover up at the high value chain. We have a very big confectionery industry.
Oh yeah.
Making some of the best confectionery products in Zimbabwe. Serious competition. One of them now is maybe the most modern factory in Southern Africa, which is basically robotic. 8 people producing 180,000 loaves per day.
Wow. Because
of technology. Then you ask me, where are the people working?
Yeah.
Then you go where you need human interface. The expansion in sales and marketing is where the people are. You may have 8 in the factory, but you will have 150 out there.
True.
That's how we are sensitive to the needs that come with the need to employ more and more. We also have amazing things happening in the area of mechanization in agriculture. Starting small, the plow was traditionally made in Bulawayo. If you didn't have a plow from Bulawayo, I don't know what you're doing. But that has moved up the value chain. The handheld tractor, the largest manufacturing plant of handheld tractors, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The ones that you walk behind, but they are mechanized.
Yes.
The plows, the planters, they're all made by the same company that used to make your grandfather's plow. So this is to speak to the smallholder agricultural producer, who doesn't need a massive tractor.
Appropriate technology.
This is appropriate technology because you have 10 hectares, you are not going to be looking for the most powerful tractor in the world. You also don't need the big planter. So we're doing that. We've always been a big player in the area of of pipes, irrigation. So as we irrigate more and more, the product is there for you to learn. You don't even have to go far. And it's not one company, it's more than one. Some are doing asbestos based, others are doing plastic based. Yeah.
Fantastic examples that you've given us there. Obviously, as you said, Blau associated with big industry. How is the balance now, or how are you incorporating and ensuring that it's not just big business that's being revitalized and revived, but also SMEs who are now the engine room of the local economy?
We are very sensitive to that. In fact, I'll talk to that if we get an opportunity to talk about the anti-smuggling blitz and how it has impacted the SMEs. We are very sensitive to that. We are one of the province that is got infrastructure now to address the requirements of the SME. We have an SME center, fully kitted, done by the Second Republic, working with a UN agency, where you can go there and manufacture your stuff. We have, in addition to that, we have the only computerized design studio for leather products. Again, Second Republic working with Comesa, which was handed over in the first quarter to us to use. What does it do? What it does is we have so many small producers of leather products. I'm sure when you walk around Ulawa, you've seen shoes, belts, and so forth. Sometimes the measurements, number one, are not up to scratch. So the retailers are saying, well, your size 9s are not the same
size 9s, we need standardization.
Number two, some of your design is still pencil based. This initiative has changed all that. So you go to one center where the computer helps you design what you want to produce, correct measurements. There's basic equipment for you to do a dry run of what you have designed. So we have the only such facility in the country. Again, it speaks to the same SMEs. We are addressing the small producer.
Indeed. Yeah. Let me stop you there, PS. I know you could go on, and I can tell that you you want to keep going and telling us about that. But we need to take a break, and we'll come back and continue this discussion. Stay with us. We'll return shortly. Welcome back, Mr. Paul Nyoni, the Permanent Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, is my guest. So, P.S., before we went to the break, you were obviously talking, you made mention of the anti-smuggling blitz, and I want to pick up on that, and I think that speaks to the fact that there are efforts that you're trying to make to create an environment that will enable business, but also attract investors into your province. Could you tell us what it is you are doing to make the environment more conducive?
Let me start by saying, the policy intervention on anti-smuggling was, I think, one of the most critical interventions for a manufacturing province, because that speaks to the various stakeholders and the challenges they have. So when His Excellency announced that intervention, we took it to heart, and they had one of the most successful anti-smuggling blitzes anywhere in the country, because we knew what it meant for our various stakeholders and the prospects that are on the wings still trying to make a decision. So we went out there and made sure that people understood what it was about. It was not about punishment. It was about everyone contributing in some way to the development of the Zimbabwe that they want. So when we did this, contrary to all naysayers, there was no real outburst of anger. People started to comply. And one of the signs, I'll give you a few numbers here. In the first quarter of 2025, the Office of Deeds, Companies and Intellectual Property registered just over 1,000 new companies. People trying to formalize, because people know what it now means. You are supposed to contribute to the Zimbabwe one. Don't talk about the portal. Contribute to its resolution. So that's how we approach it from the basic level. Then go up to the established player who has been struggling to compete with things that have not paid duty. And there's a total change in our business environment, in that you will now see companies that had held back investing in more lines of production starting to go out there and invest more.
P.S. You also mentioned that Bulawayo sits at the heart from a logistical point of view. We know even just from logistics, movement of goods, transit and things like that, a very important corridor within the SADC region as well. Could you tell us what you're trying, or efforts that have been underway, developments to try and make sure that that infrastructure lives up to the billing?
Bulawayo has been the headquarters of the railways, so it's the heart and nerve of the railway system. But also, if I look west, 90 k's, I'm in Botswana. I look north, 400 k's, I'm in Zambia, and not far from Namibia. Go to the south, 300 k's, you are in South Africa, and then there's a railway link all the way to Maputo. So we have that advantage of being in the middle of that network, and we need to take advantage of that, as we have done in the past. First of all, there's work that's happening at the railways. One of the things that you must know is that the railway system also supported in excess of 35% of the business in the region, because you needed those suppliers, those contractors for various parts of that. But that aside, government has done the Bite Bridge Harare and onwards to Chirundu. By government, the new dispensation and the direction of His Excellency the President is doing Bulawayo Victoria Falls. Plumtree to Mtare has always been done. No issues there. Those links are critical to the direction that we want to take, to be the passage of all the trade that is moving from the south to the north of us.
Mr. Paul Nyoni, I must stop you there again because it's time for another break. Stay with us. We return shortly. Welcome back. I continue my discussion with Mr. Paul Nyoni. Now, we've obviously touched on infrastructure, business, economy, and things like that. Now I want to turn to the things that affect ordinary citizens. Service delivery. Could you speak to us? We know that, obviously issues of water provision and things like that, but could you speak to us the efforts that you are making to try and ease that and improve it?
On water, we are in a dry region, as you know very well, very susceptible to droughts. And lately, topically, it has been the shortage of raw water in Bulawayo. Let me say, one of the advantages we have during this whole process, the government led by His Excellency, I remember at a time when he called the mayor to sit around and the minister to talk about water, there have been key interventions. One of them is that we probably have the newest water purification plants in the country, because this was done during the second dispensation. We upgraded everything through devolution funds and also a line of credit that government organized with the African Development Bank. So there we are sorted. What we need is raw water. So what do we do about raw water? The government again appointed a water committee last year to say what are the immediate interventions that we can implement and ease the situation, even as we wait for the medium term solutions that are quite Shangani, or even if you talk about glass block, the private sector driven them in Balabala, but you have this gap in the meantime. And the water committee recommended a few things, which basically speak to accessing water from neighboring dams like Mzingwane. Whilst our dams in Bulawayo are about 43-44% capacity right now, Mzingwane is above 84%. So that project is already started, which is to develop a link between Mzingwane and our current water. So we're doing everything possible to have short-term solutions. Yes, it rained, and people tend to forget the drought when it rains, but I am not going to forget.
Yeah.
My minister and I are going to push and push, and I dare say the council to have those connections, because they are going to change the whole matrix. So for now, that's the short-term solution.
Yeah.
The long-term, the medium to long-term solutions, you are already awake. Why Shanghai is over 70% glass block. They raised 89 million on the international finance market to build another dam. So all that, and as far as water bodies are concerned, I mean, you and I know, the more the merrier.
Indeed.
So those are the interventions.
Let's talk about energy and power.
Energy and power. One of the things that is quite been amazing in Bulawayo has been the uptake of renewable energy solutions. And that has been helped in large part because, in his wisdom, His Excellency takes concessions starting January 1 on solar energy equipment and products. And the province is dived in. We have, just to give you some quick examples, 21 clinics all solarized. Then we move to a referral hospital all solarized. To the capacity where they can feed the grid.
Wow.
That's done.
Yeah.
That's not a plan.
It's
No.
up and running.
These are waiting for commissioning. If you want to commission the solar power station at UBH today,
it's ready to go.
it's ready to go. This capacity speaks to all the requirements of the institution. So we're happy there. So on the health side, and that helps service delivery.
Yeah.
You are not going to if you see a story about people giving birth to a candle, it's not from my
It's not
from my neck of the wood. That's on solar. The city council is dived in and started to solarize all its installations. And the last I checked before I came here, there were 60% implementation. So it's a program that should be finished this year. All installation. You are not going to go to city council with your card. You want to swipe your rates, and someone says there's no
electricity. Yeah.
Absolutely not. When we are done with this, finished Bora, we are not. You are not going there. The National University of Science and Technology is doing a solar grid on its campus. So the private sector, the uptake has been so quick and so fast, responding to government policy initiatives.
Indeed. You mentioned the National University of Science and Technology. Let me talk to that as well. I mean, we do know that human capital are critical to attaining Vision 2030. So the university and where it fits into this whole agenda within your province.
Let's talk innovation. First and foremost, yes, we are producing the STEM graduates, as you know, but we have also refocused as a province towards innovation. The Phineas Makurane Technovation Center, phase 1, commissioned. Phase 2, 80-something% complete. Phase 3, all these are supposed to be finished by the end of the year. And now, the factory shells are under construction to say those innovations should be converted into goods and products.
Yeah.
And we've gone a step further. Bulawayo Polytechnic is seeking to open its own outlets. Because these products are many and numerous, and they are quite popular. You don't want to be waiting for some buyer from somewhere, but you want to be able to go there. And mining is about School of Mines.
Yeah.
As we expand our mining, they've changed the training to short-term courses that will help even the artisanal miners to understand the metrics of running
mining,
a small little mine, understand the ores, understand the minerals, understand the rules. We emphasize that because we want to be formal.
True.
So we have that going on. We have vocational training centers right across the city, training young people in all sorts of areas. Another intervention which we will speak to maybe under digital economy is the interventions around digital skills by both Bulawayo Poly as well as NAST, and we will speak to that. So we are trying to train the young lady and young woman who is going to be able to work in that robotized factory that I talked about. But not only that, you should be able to innovate enough.
Let's very quickly touch on, as you've mentioned, the digital economy itself, because that's a key pillar going forward.
We are very excited about the fiber Bulawayo to Kasungula. We have a major project going on there, going on, it's on time. There is an effort by the various telcos to bring our networks, to decommission the 2G generation and move us to 4G into 5G. And I can tell you, the last time I was reading a report earlier in the week, 16 new areas have now gotten into the LTE space. If you look at the schools, there are two things going on there. Over 36 schools have now been, ICT labs have been opened there. It's over 1,000 laptops. We thank His Excellency and his program to computerize schools. But there is also another schools intervention in the form of the ICT resource facilities. It's one thing to get someone a laptop, connect them to the internet, but it's the resource at the end of the connection. So right now, 12 of our schools now have resource centers, which is basically online libraries and other resources, which are being implemented again through the government, through the Ministry of ICTs. So we are moving. Community information centers, they are there. We even have post offices that have PRAS, registration facilities. Yeah. So you want to regularize with the PRAS, I'll show you a post office where you can go and do that.
Yeah.
So we have even the IECM, yes, the court management system, the digital skills that I talked to, which we've been lucky to collaborate not just with government, but we have NGOs and international organizations and a couple of embassies that have given us resources to train as many of our youths in digital skills, various skills, so that they can utilize these systems. I always joke when I talk to young people to say, you're always obsessed with download speeds. Yeah. I want you from 2026 to be obsessed with upload speeds. Because now you have the capacity to create content about yourself, about your country.
And put it up there.
Put it out there, and it's monetized.
Indeed. So you've been a fantastic guest. I want to thank you for coming through. You know, often when you see headlines and reference to Blah, it's always about sleeping giant. I can confirm after speaking to you that it is wide awake, it is roaring, and we certainly wish you the best going forward.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about my home province. It's a place I grew up in. I am
and you're back there serving.
Absolutely passionate about seeing the into to the tune my foot, because this is about that saying which you hear is about the smoke coming out of the chimneys of factories. So everyone who loves Bulawayo knows that we have to get back to that point where the smoke comes out of the chimneys, because we are producing more and more.
Indeed, and we'll continue to track that progress here on Economic Forum, which has come to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing us. My guest was Mr. Paul Nyoni, Secretary for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Bulawayo Metropolitan Province. We'll be back again next time. But until then, please feel free to engage with us and reach out to us on our various digital and social media platforms. The handles and platforms are on your screen right now. Get in touch with us. I am Farai Mwakuti. I'll be back again to do this next time. Be sure to join me then. Bye-bye for now.